guess
There we
I'll start. Thank you for letting me know, Mitch. You get extra bonus points. I'll give you some extra time on some answers. Hey, everybody. We're so pumped that you clicked on this video. We're here with 4 awesome employer sponsors for the CU Denver Career Fair. This is the first year that we're doing it virtually, the virtual internship and job fair coming up Thursday, September the 24th. As a reminder to all of our students, this career fair is going to be a little different. You're going to have to jump online onto Handshake, where you can find one-on-one advisory sessions. Those are going to be available with representatives from companies, but you can also do group sessions. And it's absolutely critical that everybody pre-register, not just for the fair itself, but for those individual sessions and group sessions so that you can attend and participate. I wanted to chat about a couple things with some virtual connections here. And I'd like to just start with some introductions. So question number 1 for you guys is, what's your name? Where do you work? What do you do for work? And then what's something that your company or your department has done to adapt and evolve in 2020? We'll start with Trinity.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. My name is Trinity Webb. I am with Empower Retirement. We specialize in the retirement services industry. My role is a college recruiting partner. So I partner with Rick in the school to help recruit students and build those relationships. One thing we did was we went from about 20% of our workforce working virtually out in the field, mostly sales type folks, relationship folks, to 100%, almost 100%, like 99% virtual within 2 weeks of making the decision after, about the end of February when everything kind of broke loose with COVID. So that and our company made the decision that they would not fire any employees or have layoffs due to COVID for the duration. So pretty proud of that.
Cool, pretty cool. Let's hear from Mitch.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Mitch Kusick. I'm a human resources specialist here at UPS. I've been with the company a little over 3 years and kind of rose up the ranks, so to speak, to the position that I'm in now. I've been doing a lot of recruiting and kind of doing a lot of hiring for extended locations throughout the state of Colorado. One thing that's huge here at UPS, our number 1 priority for all of our employees, regardless of anything, is safety. Safety is huge here for UPS. We want everybody to go home the same way that they come in. And so that starts with our onboarding, but safety has been just preeminent here as we've entered into 2020. We have been deemed critical infrastructure by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So we have been operating at full capacity and just hiring additionally. So here at UPS, what are we doing to stay safe? 1, we are all wearing face masks inside the building. I am in my office right now. I have not had the privilege to work from home. So yeah, wearing the face masks. We have plenty of hand sanitizer. We have new disinfectant procedures for all of our vehicles, and we are still abiding by the 6-foot social distancing whenever possible. So those are been the things that we've done to pivot to stay safe in this environment.
Fantastic, thanks. And then Josh.
Thank you, Rick. Yep, my name is Josh. I work for Xcel Energy. I've been here for a little bit over a year and some change. The biggest thing that we've had to adapt for in 2020 is we switched to 100% virtual interviews. So pretty big step. We've been using Zoom, Microsoft Teams. Sometimes we'll get creative if candidates don't have those platforms. And so another thing too is for all new hires, including interns, there's orientation. So we have our orientation class every 2 weeks in Minnesota. So we actually had to switch over to virtual as well. So quite a couple of changes. I've been working from home since March. Not sure when we're coming back, but it's been quite a change here in 2020.
Yeah, we've all dealt with a lot, and I think that while it's still been challenging to do a job search here in 2020, it is still possible, right? We're all here because we're trying to hire people. So let's go ahead and get into the next question. We'll start with Mitch. So the question for you is, from your experience with virtual interviews, what have you seen students do that leaves a lasting positive impression?
So there are definitely a couple things, and really the central theme is preparation. So one thing, it kind of goes without saying nowadays, there's Zoom etiquette. And so dressing professionally makes a great appearance. Being in an environment that is professional, that it's not distracting or might have things that aren't appropriate for interviewing for a position behind you. If you need to, you can take advantage of Zoom's virtual backgrounds, play around with that a little bit, but definitely having that professional approach. The other thing that I also have seen with candidates who namely apply for our part-time supervisor positions, which we do conduct virtual interviews for initially, is just treating the interview like you are in person, really engaging with the camera. It's so easy, to have something else and, you're looking at a screen here or whatnot, but just be present and be engaged. You can really tell when somebody's listening to your answers, things like that. And it does seem a little bit informal when you're just kind of staring at that camera, but being sure that you're present, focused, and prepared is definitely going to set you apart.
I would just mirror what Mitch was saying, is prepare. And, you actually you have the opportunity to look up companies beforehand, and then you can sign up to engage with them virtually. So you know who you want to talk to. So you don't need to be an expert, but know some basics about the company, right? So visit the website, know the industry they're in. We're not asking you to be experts.
Yeah, and all the information's there. How convenient. How convenient we made it for everybody. Okay, next question. We'll start off with Josh here. If a student only has time to dedicate to one thing to prepare for the fair, other than registering, what would it be? What would you recommend that they do? The one thing?
One thing is obviously do their research. Study the roles at the say Xcel Energy, study what roles we have to offer here at Xcel Energy, different types of internships, engineering roles, business roles, and just how they can become a strong candidate for those positions, whether they have an elevator pitch. But I would say just really do your research. Make sure to ask really good questions. The type of questions, for example, last year we were at CU and we were just getting stumped by the engineering students. I mean, they were asking question after question after question. And at a certain point, we're like, oh, we're going to have to get back to you on that one, because we're going to have to find one of our engineers to answer some of those harder questions. So I think that's the way to go. If you can stump the recruiter at the career fair, that's definitely a lasting impression.
So your strategy here would be research the company, research the position, ask really hard questions. Cool.
Yeah, I think a big thing too is, it kind of goes along with networking. When you talk to me, what are you going to do for the company, right? Like, don't say, what are you going to do for me in my internship? Here's what I'm bringing to you. So know what your strengths are and know how to sell yourself in a very efficient, confident manner.
Yeah, and I would tag on to that. If you don't know what your strengths are, talk to somebody from the Career Center. Try and make an appointment. Try and do a drop-in. We can help you figure out what those strengths are, those selling points, because that's really what everybody wants to know. What are your selling points? All right, let's go on to the next question. As you guys know, at the virtual internship and job fair, we might have some alumni. We know that the Colorado layoffs have still been elevated at an elevated level. And so we might have some alumni returning to the fair. So say I'm a recent graduate with multiple years of experience, or say I've lost my job because of quarantine. How can I avoid being labeled overqualified? Trinity, what do you think?
Yeah, I am actually helping a friend through this right now. Again, what are you bringing to the role? You can look at positions that might be lower than your experience. They might be right in line with it, but sometimes you need to kind of read between those lines and figure out if a position says 0 to 1 year and you have 0 experience, but maybe you have field experience, you're bringing a level of maturity and experience that maybe someone who hasn't had that opportunity yet is going to bring into that. So that's going to sell itself when you're talking about just requirements for the job and understanding, right, how you sell what you're bringing to that role. And you don't want to come across as desperate. You want to be confident, right? Like I know I can come in and help your company be successful because I've got a year of sales experience or whatever it may be. So it's understanding how your experience aligns with maybe a job. It could even be an internship. My company had interns this summer that came in and performed way above expectations, and they got offers. Yep. Because they're hitting the ground running instead of that 6-month, 12-month learning curve, just to be able to get to a position where they're really productive.
So it sounds like, Trinity, you're recommending here, try and connect the dots for people. And that's probably done in person or through Zoom or some sort of virtual way. So let's go on to the next question here. So there's going to be a lot of companies offering both part-time and full-time and even internship opportunities at the fair. The question is, why should I, if I'm a student, why should I do an internship over our part-time job or a full-time job? And from your perspective, what's the difference? We'll start with Mitch.
So here at UPS, we do have a handful of internships that we do fill throughout the year. We are not really going to be offering those here at the fair this fall, but those internships themselves, they are paid here at UPS. They are full-time as well, and it really gets you the experience that you need to see what it would be like to actually work in that capacity. So it is kind of a short-term contract. Whether you're in human resources, our plant engineering also has interns as well. And it's just kind of a way for you to really experience what it's like to work at a Fortune 50 company in that business department. Just kind of playing off of what Trinity said there in the last question, you know, here at UPS, we do promote from within. And so really everybody starts out as part-time. And then we do hire our full-time people from inside. That was my experience as well. I graduated from MSU Denver, just right there at the Auraria campus, and I actually took a part-time position to kind of move full-time. But it, you know, working as an intern, it's a great way to get your foot in the door in addition to those part-time opportunities and really network so that, you know, if you are looking to stay on permanently, you absolutely have the avenue to do so.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think?
Why choose an internship over part-time, full-time? I think the flexibility is definitely there. Obviously, you know, trying to go to school and do an internship at the same time and being able to see what the department is that you're stepping into, what is it all about? So, for example, our engineering interns, they're hands-on. They're doing everything that our electrical, civil engineers are doing, and so that's really kind of a peek into our world and see, is this something that I really want to do? And like I said, the flexibility, just being able to go to school a couple of days here, and then when you have some time off, come work with us. In the summer, you can work full-time as an intern. All those opportunities are always there. So another thing too is really connecting. When you become an intern, you can really connect with the different departments and just being able to see what it's all about without, you know, too much of a commitment. So
yeah. So you're talking about more the flexibility. Mitch, you're mentioning more of that connection, that networking, being able to promote yourself. Trinity,
right.
What do you think here?
Yeah, I would say an internship is being able to take that theory that you're learning in school and practically applying it while also learning, you know, business skills that you wouldn't get maybe through school, and then being able to utilize that internship to bring that all together and then go back to school and hopefully you've learned something that is also going to help you say, this is the right career path. I made the right decision, or maybe I need to rethink the rest of my school and maybe change direction. I know a large percentage of students at CU Denver are part-time students. They work part-time jobs to help pay for school. We have a program that aligns perfectly with that. You know, I think a full-time job, obviously, if you have the capacity while going to school, more power to you. I did it too, just to help me get through school. So I think that there are benefits to each of them.
Awesome. Yeah, that kind of goes back to the confidence you were talking about before, developing that confidence slowly, realizing, yes, this is for me, or maybe I should pivot. So to kind of wrap up our questions here, we'll start with Trinity. What is something negative you remember about an attendee from a job fair? What was it about that encounter that you still remember? What went wrong? Give it to us.
Yeah, so 2 quick examples. One, a number of years ago, I had a student come up and they were trying to sell me and my company, we were an engineering firm, on ways to manufacture marijuana. Just to be very straightforward, it was like, oh, okay. And this was pre-legalization in Colorado. The other was I had a student walk up in shorts, flip-flops, t-shirt, hair, sunglasses, and she had her dog with her. And it was not a service dog, it was just a pet. You know, that doesn't really come across as someone who's actively seeking real internships or real opportunities. Sometimes they're to just get, you know, swag.
Yeah, so not professional, not focused. Josh, what would you say here? Something you remember?
I have a pretty decent one. I mean, so Xcel Energy, right? We provide power to a pretty decent amount of communities here in Colorado. So I had a student come up to me. We were talking. It actually went pretty well, and then it turned into, why is my bill so high? What can, like, are you guys gonna get better at this? Why are you charging me an arm and a leg? And I was just sitting here like, I'm not even in that right department, man. I don't know what you want out of me. And it turned into, how can I get your contact info so we can get to the bottom? I was like, oh my gosh, like let's move on. Like, we're trying to talk about internships, opportunities, and yeah, it was just awkward and a horrible time to bring that up. So
Mitch, take us home.
I'll share a quick one here. It kind of ties into something that Trinity had mentioned earlier. Do your research. Come prepared on the company. I've actually, on a couple of different occasions, I'll get people who walk up to me at a booth, say, "What's UPS? What does UPS do?" And it's just kind of funny. We're just so familiar with the vernacular UPS. So please, whether it's a large firm, small firm, do your research on the company so that you can engage in that conversation proactively.
Let's wrap up here. How can students get a hold of you if they wanted to follow up about job interviews, about positions, about anything related to your company? Trinity, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we will be posting some positions here in the next week or so for students. So you can go to our website, empower-retirement.com. And if you want my contact information, I'm more than happy to work with Rick and everybody else at CU to provide that information so you have someone to reach out to.
Great. And then Mitch.
A couple different ways. We do make it pretty easy here at UPS. One, we do have postings active on Handshake, so please look into those. Take advantage of some of those seasonal bonuses that we are offering. And then lastly, upsjobs.com. That's our one-stop shop for all sorts of employment, not only here in the state, but if you're looking nationwide, you can go ahead and check out upsjobs.com. jobs.com.
Great. And then Josh, how can we get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So best way is email. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn a lot as well. Xcel Energy, the careers.xcelenergy.com is a great page. Sign up for those job alerts. Those are really awesome. As soon as we post a job, you'll get a notification on email. So more than happy to share those. LinkedIn, email, best way to reach out.
Awesome. Fantastic. So once again, thank you guys for participating in this. Please, 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 if you're watching this video, stop by the fair, connect with these awesome folks. I'm sure that they want to meet with you. As a reminder, we at the Career Center and at LynxConnect, we are here to support you. We have plenty of resources on Handshake. You can do appointments. You can do drop-in sessions. There's even a new appointment type called the Fair Prep appointment type. And make sure that you connect with the peer advisor to check out your resume. And of course, if you register for the event, remember to dress professionally. We've learned that today. Remember to do your research. Remember some of the other tips they've given you. Update that resume, practice that elevator pitch, and remember to have fun and to be yourself. And we'll see you there.